Hello, my dear insightful parents. We have been discussing about schooling, unschooling, alternative methods of education, and we have been exploring different methods. Initially, I shared my understanding and my finding about regular and formal education, and then we had somebody else who shared, Ritu, who shared about her journey, not completely unschooling, but her journey from different ways of educating the children. And now we have somebody who's very different. She's Sumi Chandresh, and she's an unschooler. She's the mother of two children, Kudrat, who's 20 years of age, and Ajanya, who's 17 years, and none of them have ever been to a school. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of interesting information for us. She herself is a chef. He cooks healthy food with millets. She does murals with paper mache and also unused materials, and she lives a very, very happy life. And we are here to find out the secret to her happiness and how her journey has been with respect to unschooling. So, thank you for sparing your time, Sumi, for all of us today. So, my first question to you is one is tell us a little more about yourself, and second is how could you take a decision to not send children to school? Because it's a huge decision. I mean, today we are talking about unschooling and alternative education and stuff like that, but we're talking about 20 years back. Okay, that is a huge decision. And what made you take those decisions? What was your mindset, and what are the conversations that you had?
Okay, myself, I have done my MCom and LLB, but then I quit my job. I had done a job for 7 years in a corporate, and I just quit and met my partner Chandresh and just started exploring my life. After starting exploring my life, I could see that what is development and what is education, how does it take us to a different lifestyle. And then the way the life went out with thinking about what is development and how we want to live our life. So we went to Shikshantar. Then Shikshantar is an institute at that time. It was doing research on education and development, the so-called development. We were questioning what is education, what is development. And these days it's an open space for creativity where people can come explore their passions and do different types of activities. And there are people who can facilitate them for their passions. So then when we went there, we were there for 4 years. Then we decided that before Kudrat was born, we decided that we'll not send our children to school after understanding the present education system and the culture of schooling. How does it just waste time and doesn't nurture child's creativity, imagination, reasoning power, and thinking power. This all is not there in school, in the four walls of school. So we thought and we took a decision. And for us, learning doesn't happen in four walls. Learning happens everywhere else in the world. So it's a very different process. We have to unlearn schooling and in colleges and all, and we have to think very differently. We have to unlearn. So we ourselves thought that learning comes from everywhere. So our neighbors, our farmers, our environment, and different places where we can go and learn many things. Even a vegetable vendor, we can learn lots of things. It's not that we cannot learn. We can learn from everywhere. So we started our journey with thinking that we'll not send our children to school, and started learning for ourselves first and then with children. At the age of 2, I just took Kudrat to different places and he started learning from people. Yes.
Okay, so see, there's a lot of involvement required when it comes to unschooling because then you become the teacher to them and they learn what you show them, you guide them. So, did you have a clear plan of action that, okay, these are the things that I would like my children to learn. These are the skills that I would like them to develop. So how did you go about it in a structured way, or how did you go about it?
See, first thing is that when children are with us, we exactly don't know what they are thinking, right? So once they say to us something, yes, we want to learn something from you, we are present for them. We were there present for them. So when they wake up in the morning, it's they have to decide what they want to do. We were doing our work, and if they want to do with us, okay, fine. If they want to do what they want to do, they are doing it. We are not forcing for anything, and we did not have any structured curriculum for them. So the child has to decide. It's not that child doesn't have anything in their mind. Child has got lots of things in their mind. When they are alone, or when they are l- left for themselves, they think a lot, and they have got freedom to choose their own things to do. So for me, my children, uh, when uh, when I was at home with Kudrat, I used to do lots of painting and sculpturing and all that things. So he also started with me that, and I used to give him watercolors painting, so that, and the walls of our houses. So all the four walls were painted by him, and it was so, and he was so enjoying the whole day. And other thing is that our house was open for everyone. There were people coming in and coming out, staying with us also. So when people come in, come out, they stay with us. There is an intergenerational learning. So from that, when people come to our place and stay, they have got their own learning exchange. So they share with Kudrat. Kudrat also shares with him. So there was an intergenerational learning. Kudrat's first friend was Ajay Bhatt, who was 24 years old. When he was just 5 years old, his first friend was 24 years old. So that is intergenerational learning. It's not that the child has the same friend of his. So we also considered that from everywhere child can learn. Even a grandma can become his friend, and he can learn from her. So yeah, we did not have any structured curriculum, and we also did not think about his reading and writing. So whenever the need comes, it will happen automatically. For him, the need came at the age of 14, and he did it automatically. And for my younger son, the need came at age of 10. He did that, and he learned Hindi. My younger son. My elder son still is learning Hindi, but my younger son, he learned Hindi, reading, writing by himself. So when the need arises, everything happens automatically. We feel that.
Okay, all right. So what about certain milestones that we keep telling that in a child who is 11 years old should be able to do these things. A child which is 15 years old should be able to do these things, and these things have come over a period of time, looking at generally how children have developed. Okay, and when it comes to not necessarily academics, but when it comes to education and knowledge, were they at par with, did they figure out their path, or did you, I mean, you say that there was absolutely no direction. So how did, I mean, there are certain things uh, like addition, subtraction, maths that we all need to know. And not only that, even subjects like history, which is very important to for us to know where we came from, our ancestors, not just our ancestors, the history of our country, our culture, our traditions, because that is important for our identity as well. Okay, so how does these things come if there is no structure?
See, for these things also, I don't feel there should be a structure. See, if you want to learn history, you can go to places, talk to people, and can understand the village culture, the city's culture, and different food culture. So in the bookish knowledge, I think it's very weird. They can go everywhere. They can uh, travel a lot. they can understand people, they can talk to people, and relation, you can when we see that before, people had that relationship bonding which is not there just now. But when I was like 20 years before, when I used to take children to different places, I had people welcoming a lot. Like they used to welcome me, and we used to do the work what they were doing, and we used to get free stay and free food. So it was a very nice relationship. And now, if now I don't think so in the city we can do this, but at least in the homeschooling group, unschooling group, there are people who are welcoming, and we can go and stay at their places, and we can do learning exchanges. And for history, geography, and that all things, that is what it is. Whenever the need arises, it will happen automatically. There is no need to push or no need to force anything. If there is something which a project comes out of history, at that moment the child will know, and child will learn by himself or herself, not necessary to put and force anything. And to know where we are coming from, I see, basically they are not going to school, and there is no vacation period or something. We used to go to our grandparents and everywhere. We used to visit different relatives. We used to all the relatives, basically we used to go and visit them, stay there, talk to them. So these all things is happening. It's not necessary in the school, it's happening. So we went to MP, we went to Ladakh, we went to Bombay, wherever we used to go, children used to just move around, understand the whole area. They used to talk to people, where we as adults, we feel like we should talk or not to talk, but children are not like that. They just move around and they just talk to people. They make friends a lot by themselves. So that is what it is. If, sitting inside the four walls, I don't think so you can learn history or something. Yeah, basically you can learn that Mughal period and all that, but whenever the need arises, it will happen.
Okay, got it. So what about his friend circle? I mean, there's something called as, I'm not even calling it peer pressure, but the fact that maybe, did you ever come and complain that, my friends know all these things and I don't know these things, and why is that? Has they ever asked you why you didn't send them to a school?
See, this question again. See, can I ask you back the same question? Did you
Yes.
ever ask your parents, why did you send me to school and I'm just having single thing what I'm doing, one single career?
Oh,
Did you ask?
I mean, yeah, I asked, even my child asks sometimes when you are frustrated, he said, why do you even send me to school? But that is not a question
I
out
know,
of,
I
yeah.
just answered. I mean, I'll tell you. My children never ask me they want to go to school, but yeah, there were lots of friends. They knew how to make the society. Children all used to come to my place and enjoy, and they see the schooling times were like 7 to 12. So after 12 o'clock, after one or two, they were at my place. They were enjoying at my place. They used to play around, and there were some friends who just has told him that you are not going to school, what you will do when you grow up. But he never had thought that we should go to school for growing up or for doing something. And there were few children who were thinking that you are so your parents are so good that they are not sending you to school, and there is no pressure to give exams and no pressure to read or write, no pressure for homeworks. You're so free, you can do whatever you want. So children, they never ask me that they want to go to school. And now also they don't feel, also they have not, they are feeling that it's better that we have not gone to school, because we can do a lots of things instead of doing one thing.
Okay. Now, do you feel that when children are not given, uh, I won't say curriculum, at least a structured, I keep using the word structure. It's not really a structure, but at least what happens is that uh, kids going to a school, I'm not saying a regular school, any kind of an education system, they are given knowledge of various different things, and many times they are taught how they are related with each other and things like that. So that kind of learning, how do they get? Do they get into the real world cases where they go out and experiment with stuff? Do you encourage that? And how does their learning, I mean, simple things like maths, addition, subtraction, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. My elder son never wanted to learn maths. He was not interested, and still he's not interested. When I give him money to go and buy something, he just comes back at, whatever money the shopkeeper gives him. He doesn't even count. When I ask him, "Did you count, or did you ask him what is the rate?" He's saying, "Mommy, I have trust. He will not give me less money. And I'm not interested in counting." Still, he says that. And now also he does the same thing. But the elder one, but the younger one, he likes maths. He likes counting. So when he was like, 7 years or something, he just was seeing the storybook. When he saw the numbers down, so he started asking me, "What is this?" I said, "These are numbers." And he liked that, and he just asked me to learn counting, then plus, minus. It was just a very less time he could learn very easily. And after that, he did by himself all multiplication and division. There, I did not teach him anything. He did by himself.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So it's not a like it's a the need from inside. It taught him very easily. He is not interested in art, but the younger one is not interested in art, but the elder one is interested in art and everything. So this one is interested in doing something with hands and legs and uh, full body, but the elder one is wants to use his mind and heart and do something. He wants to do beyond everything. He doesn't want to uh, be with. He doesn't want to use his whole body and do something. He just want to use his mind and heart and do something, because he's a filmmaker and videographer and editor. He does lots of other things also. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So Kudrat is 20 years old. So what
Yeah.
is the difference that you see in him and other children who are educated through any other kind of formal or regular education?
See, uh, uh, because I was traveling with them, they could see different types of families and different types of workplaces, uh, and all different types of cultures. So they could see that uh, how nature is helping us for growing, because we used to go for organic farming in different places. Every year I used to take them for 3 months to our organic farmer. We used to do farming, we used to be with cows, we used to be with dogs, everything, all the animals in the farm. So they know basically how nature is helping us to grow. And other thing is, uh, uh, basically we learned they learned through traveling. They learn. He designs his own self-design learning. He is a lifelong learner, so he designs his own curriculum. He only designs where to go, when to go, and how to learn and why to learn. Everything he designs by himself. And just now, by the age of 19, he is independent and he is working by himself. Uh, for resources also, he is only working for himself. So he is independent now. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And so, what would be your advice to other parents and especially or mothers who are considering not sending their children to school? But because I think it's a big decision because it's a huge commitment. You
Yeah.
cannot. It's a decision that you can't take back after a couple of years. Become very
Yeah.
difficult.
See, one thing is that whatever we have learned First, we have to unlearn it, then again relearn it, because we have to live with children whom we are going to unschool or homeschool. They will have lots of questions. We cannot just leave them. They need it to be answered, or together we have to learn with them. First thing is that we have to unlearn everything what we have learned, and then relearn with them together. Then we should be just be present with them. There should be no peer pressure, like you have to do this at this time, you have to do maths at this time, you have to do physics. No, if the child is interested, okay, fine, no props. But we have to be present if we are doing unschooling. Homeschooling is a different concept altogether, but unschooling, they will decide what they want to do. We are not somebody to decide what they want to do.
Okay. Okay. It's completely up to the children.
Yes, totally up to the children. It's not ours.
What do you have digital devices and television at home? What if they decide that I will just watch television?
See, that's a question. See, television is basically when I was 20 years back, there was a television at my place. Children were watching television. I never said no, but there was a shift from television to creative work. So that shift will happen. You have to be patiently watching them what they're doing, not necessarily telling them not to watch. When you say no, then there are lots of things going on. Why this, that, hot discussion comes out of it. So instead of that, just be patiently, watch them. See, it's nothing wrong in it. They might be learning something from that. It's not that they are not learning from television or screen time or something. There is one unschooler who just screen time whole day night for 3 years continuously he was gaming. The
Okay.
parent was just like, okay, fine, no props. But after 3 years, he was like, okay, now I'm done, finished. He's not even touching that. So that is what it is. We have to be very patiently be with them instead of forcing them. There should be no timetable. There should be nothing. See, anyways, when we ask our grandmothers or grandfathers, they will have more knowledge than what we have just now. The living style of theirs was totally different the way we are living.
Yeah, that is true.
So, yeah, so we have to understand that it's not that we have to bring back that thing, but we have to understand that generation also and live with them and live together and be present. Our grandmas might have never scolded us like how our parents might have scolded us. The grandmas will just listen to us. They used to tell stories. They had so many stories. They had so many things to tell to us. But yes, that is what.
So, tell me one thing. You've gone through the entire journey actually, because Kudrat has started working now, right? So, do you think that he has reached, he's living to his full potential, or do you think he could have been more? Because that is one thing that, as parents, we always want the best for our children. Okay, so having seen the entire journey, where do you see yourself with respect to
See,
this?
for me also, with Kudrat, I have learned a lot. I have taken out my passions from a corporate office accountant. I'm into chef. I'm into doing murals. I'm into painting, drawing, taking creative workshops, right? This is a total shift. So this is because we understand them. We have learned from them a lots of things. How to bring our passions out and work with that. The same thing what he is also doing just now. Just now he is a filmmaker, right? But after some time he may be doing something else. Not necessarily he is a filmmaker. It's not the career that he's a filmmaker. So he is a scripter, he's a filmmaker, videographer, photographer, editor, everything he does by himself in his videos. he has his own YouTube channel. He has done more than 60 films.
Okay.
So he's a learner. He doesn't stop learning. He's very open to learning lots of things.
Fantastic. I mean, like that.
The
That's
same
a lot.
thing with younger son also.
Yes.
He is a baker. He does lots of, just now they are living together. So he makes food for his brother. He makes, every day he makes new dishes and he talks to people. He goes out. He wants to learn how to build mud houses. He wants to learn how to build walls with different unused materials. So it's totally different. We can see that two children at my home, both are different, and in a school there are 50 students where the teacher just puts one thing in their all 50 students. How is it possible? All the minds are not same, all are different. So
True. That's such an interesting conversation. So thank you so much, Sumi, for this lovely interaction, giving us so much of insight into unschooling. I'm sure that if there are parents in our group who are considering this seriously, they would reach out to you because you've actually the entire distance and you would know exactly what challenges that parents face, what's the kind of mindset you need to have to get through this because you have done it twice, two children, right? So thank you so much. You're a great asset to us. Thank you so much.
yeah, thanks.